If your legs feel heavier than usual when you wake up, or if you've noticed a strange tightness in your calves even after simple walking, I want you to pause for a moment because your body may already be trying to tell you something important, something most people ignore until it becomes much harder to manage. And I need you to stay with me until the end of this video because what I'm going to explain could completely change how you think about blood flow, especially as we age. Before we go deeper, if this is your first time here, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I share simple, science-based health insights just like this, and many people tell me they wish they had learned these things earlier. Now let me ask you something very personal. Have you ever felt that your legs don't recover the way they used to? Maybe you sit down for a while, and when you stand up, there's a stiffness, or a slight numbness, or even a feeling that your legs are slower than the rest of your body. Most people don't realize this, but changes in blood flow to the lower body are extremely common after the age of 60. In fact, I've seen this happen too many times in my patients. People assume it's just aging, when in reality, circulation is playing a much bigger role than they think. What makes this even more concerning is that poor blood flow often develops silently. There is no loud warning, no dramatic pain at the beginning, just small signs, like cold feet at night, slight swelling around the ankles, or tired legs even without heavy activity. And here's what most people miss. The blood vessels in your legs are responsible for carrying oxygen and nutrients back to your heart. When that process slows down, even slightly, your muscles don't receive what they need to function properly. Over time, this can affect mobility, energy levels, and even balance. But the good news is, circulation is not something you're powerless against. In fact, there are simple, natural habits and supportive drinks that may help encourage healthier blood flow when used consistently and correctly. And I'm not talking about anything extreme or complicated, just practical changes that fit into your daily routine. In a moment, I'll explain exactly what happens inside your legs when circulation slows down, and why so many people over 60 start noticing discomfort without understanding the real cause. Because once you understand the reason, the solution becomes much clearer and much less frightening. What I'm about to tell you might surprise you, because most people think poor blood flow is only a heart problem or something that happens suddenly. But in reality, it usually develops slowly, almost quietly, over years. When circulation in the legs begins to slow down, the smallest blood vessels are often the first to be affected. These tiny vessels are responsible for delivering oxygen deep into your muscles and tissues. When they don't work as efficiently, your legs start to feel different long before any serious condition is diagnosed. I've seen patients describe it in many ways. Some say, "My legs just don't feel alive anymore." Others notice they can walk the same distance they used to, but now they need to rest sooner. And many simply brush it off as fatigue or aging. But your body is more precise than that. One of the earliest signs of reduced blood flow is what we call delayed recovery. That means after sitting, standing, or walking, your legs take longer to feel normal again. You might not even notice it at first, but your body is already adapting to less oxygen reaching the muscles. Another common sign is temperature change. If your feet feel colder than the rest of your body, especially at night, it's not random. Blood flow plays a key role in regulating warmth, and when circulation weakens, the extremities are usually the first to feel it. And here's something even more important that many people don't connect. Reduced blood flow doesn't just affect comfort. It can also affect your strength and stability. Muscles that don't receive enough oxygen can become weaker over time, which is why some older adults start feeling less steady on their feet without realizing the underlying reason. Now, I want to be very clear here. This is not about fear. It's about awareness. Because when you understand what's happening inside your body, you can take simple, supportive steps to help improve it. In fact, there are natural ways that may help encourage better circulation, especially through daily hydration choices that support blood vessel flexibility and overall flow. And in just a moment, I'll explain one specific type of drink that many people overlook, but which can gently support circulation when combined with healthy habits, like walking and light movement. But before that, you need to understand what is actually restricting blood flow in the first place, because that's where everything begins to make sense. Let me explain something that most people are never told in a clear way. As we get older, our blood vessels naturally begin to lose some of their flexibility. Think of them like soft, elastic tubes when we are younger. They expand and relax easily, allowing blood to move smoothly throughout the body. But over time, due to a combination of aging, lifestyle habits, diet, and sometimes conditions like high blood pressure or elevated blood sugar, those vessels can become a little stiffer. And when that happens, circulation doesn't stop, but it slows down. Now, this is where things become especially important for people over 60. Because the legs are the farthest point from the heart, they are often the first place where reduced circulation becomes noticeable. The heart has to work harder to push blood downward and bring it back up again. If the vessels are less flexible, that journey becomes less efficient. Most people don't realize this, but even mild dehydration can make this worse. When your body is low on fluids, blood becomes slightly thicker, and it doesn't move as easily through small vessels. That's when symptoms like heaviness, cramping, or fatigue in the legs can become more noticeable. I've also seen this pattern in people who sit for long periods of time without movement. The muscles in the legs act like a pump for blood flow. When that pump is inactive for too long, circulation naturally slows down. But here's the part I really want you to understand. This is not a hopeless situation. Not at all. The human body responds incredibly well to simple, consistent support. Even small daily changes, like improving hydration, gentle movement, and choosing certain nutrient-rich drinks, can make a meaningful difference in how your circulation feels over time. There is one approach I often discuss with people looking to support leg circulation naturally. It involves a simple drink that focuses on hydration and compounds that may help support healthy blood vessel function. It is not a quick fix, and it is not a replacement for medical care, but it can be part of a daily routine that supports better flow, especially when combined with walking or light stretching. What's interesting is that many people already have the ingredients for this kind of drink in their kitchen, but they never realize how powerful the combination can be when used consistently. In the next part, I'll explain exactly what that drink is often based on, why timing matters more than people think, and how it can fit into a realistic daily routine without disruption to your lifestyle. Because once you understand how circulation truly responds to daily habits, everything starts to feel more manageable and far less alarming than it may seem right now. Now let's talk about something very practical, because understanding the problem is only half of the story. Many of my patients are surprised when I tell them that one of the simplest ways to support blood flow in the legs is not a medication, not a complicated treatment, but consistent daily hydration paired with the right natural ingredients. And I want to be very careful here because I am not talking about miracle drinks or exaggerated claims. I am talking about supportive habits that may help the body function more efficiently over time. When blood circulation slows, the body often benefits from two key things: better fluid balance and nutrients that support the lining of blood vessels. Without these, the system becomes more strained, especially in the lower limbs. One of the most commonly discussed natural approaches involves warm, simple beverages that encourage gentle circulation support. For example, drinks that include ingredients like ginger, lemon, or beetroot are often studied for their potential role in supporting healthy blood flow. Now, let me explain why these are often mentioned. Ginger is known for its warming effect on the body and may help support healthy circulation. Beetroot contains natural compounds that are linked with nitric oxide production, which is important for helping blood vessels relax. Lemon contributes hydration and vitamin C, which supports overall vascular health. But here is what most people miss. It is not about one ingredient alone. It is about consistency. Drinking something once will not change circulation, but when used regularly as part of a routine, especially in the morning or early evening, it may gently support the body's natural processes. I often tell people over 60 to think of it as supportive maintenance, not treatment. Just like walking keeps joints active, hydration-based drinks can help keep the internal system functioning more smoothly. And timing matters more than you think. For many people, having a warm, supportive drink in the morning can help prepare the body for the day's circulation demands. It gently signals hydration after sleep, when the body is naturally slightly dehydrated. However, this alone is not enough, because if movement is missing, even the best hydration habits cannot fully support healthy blood flow to the legs. That is why I always combine this discussion with one very important factor that many overlook completely. And that is how daily movement, even very light movement, works together with circulation support to change how your legs feel over time. In the next part, I will explain exactly how this combination works, and why even people who feel weak or tired can still begin improving their circulation gently and safely at home. Now, I want you to imagine something very simple. You wake up in the morning and instead of immediately feeling stiffness in your legs, you feel a lighter, more natural sense of movement. Not perfect, not magical, but noticeably easier. That difference often comes from something surprisingly basic: how blood is encouraged to move through your body throughout the day. Most people don't realize this, but your leg muscles act like a secondary pump for circulation. Every time you walk, flex your feet, or even gently move your ankles, you are helping blood return upward toward your heart. When this movement is reduced, especially in older age or after long periods of sitting, blood tends to pool more easily in the lower legs. That's when heaviness, swelling, and fatigue can start to appear. I've seen this pattern repeatedly. People assume they need something intense, like strong medication or aggressive exercise, but in many cases, the body responds better to gentle consistency. Even small actions matter. Simple ankle rotations while sitting, short daily walks, and light stretching of the calves can help activate circulation in a very natural way. These are not dramatic changes, but they are powerful when done regularly. And when you combine this with proper hydration and supportive drinks, the effect becomes more noticeable over time. Let me be very clear here. We are not trying to force the body into something unnatural. We are simply helping it do what it is already designed to do: move blood efficiently, even as we age. One of the biggest mistakes people make is staying still for too long. Long hours of sitting or lying down without movement can slow circulation significantly, and for someone over 60, the body takes longer to recover from that slowdown. That is why I often encourage a simple routine: hydrate well, include a supportive warm drink during the day, and make gentle movement a non-negotiable part of daily life. It does not have to be intense. It just has to be consistent. And here is something very important I want you to understand emotionally as well as medically. Many people assume that once circulation becomes weaker, there is nothing they can do except manage it. But that is not the full picture. The body continues to respond to positive habits even later in life. I've seen patients in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s notice meaningful improvements in how their legs feel simply by staying consistent with small daily actions. But there is still one crucial piece missing from what I've shared so far. Because circulation is not only about movement or hydration alone, it is also deeply connected to what you are doing throughout the entire day, especially during rest and nighttime. And that is exactly what we need to understand next. Now let's talk about something many people completely overlook, even though it has a direct impact on how your legs feel every single day. Rest. Yes, resting correctly is just as important as moving correctly when it comes to blood circulation. I often see patients who are active during the day, but still experience heaviness or discomfort in their legs at night. And when we look closely, the issue is not always a lack of movement, but how the body is positioned during rest and how long it stays in one position. When you lie down or sit for extended periods without changing position, gravity begins to play a role in how blood collects in the lower body. In younger people, the vascular system compensates quickly, but as we age, that return flow becomes slightly slower. This is why some people notice swelling around the ankles in the evening or a dull, aching sensation after a long day. It is not unusual, but it is important. Now, here is something that can make a real difference. Elevating the legs slightly while resting can help support more natural blood return to the upper body. It does not need to be extreme. Just a gentle elevation using a pillow or cushion can sometimes help reduce that feeling of heaviness. And hydration still matters here too. Many people stop drinking enough fluids later in the day because they are worried about frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom. But reducing hydration too much can make blood slightly more concentrated, which may not support smooth circulation. It is about balance, not restriction. Another factor I want to mention carefully is blood sugar and vascular health. Over time, elevated blood sugar levels can affect the small blood vessels, making circulation less efficient. This is why maintaining stable daily habits becomes especially important for people in this age group. But I want to emphasize something important. None of this is meant to create fear. It is meant to create understanding. Because once you understand how interconnected these systems are, movement, hydration, rest, and vessel health, you start to see that small daily choices matter far more than dramatic interventions. And this is where many people feel relieved, because they realize they are not powerless. In fact, the body is constantly responding to how you treat it, even in small ways. In the final part, I will bring everything together and show you how a simple, realistic daily routine centered around supportive hydration, gentle movement, and mindful rest can help you feel more in control of your leg health without overwhelming changes or complicated steps. Now I want to bring everything together in a way that feels simple, realistic, and most importantly, sustainable for your everyday life. Because when people hear about circulation, they often imagine something complicated. But in reality, your body responds most strongly to consistency, not intensity. If you remember only one thing from this video, let it be this. Your legs are not just aging. They are responding to how well blood is moving through them each day. When circulation is supported, many people notice subtle but meaningful changes over time. Less heaviness in the evening, a little more ease when standing up, slightly warmer feet at night. Not sudden transformations, but gradual improvements that build on each other. And that is the key. Now, let's simplify everything I've shared into a gentle daily approach that may help support healthier blood flow. Start your morning with hydration. After sleep, your body is naturally in a slightly dehydrated state, and replenishing fluids can help your circulation system function more smoothly. Some people prefer warm water, while others include simple supportive ingredients like lemon or ginger. These are not treatments, but they can be part of a healthy routine that supports overall vascular comfort. During the day, movement is essential. Even light walking, stretching your calves, or flexing your ankles while sitting can help activate the natural muscle pump in your legs. You do not need long workouts. You need frequent, gentle movement. If you are sitting for long periods, try to break it up every hour if possible. Stand, stretch, or simply move your feet. These small actions matter more than most people realize. In the evening, focus on reducing strain. Rest your legs in a comfortable position, and if it feels good for your body, slightly elevate them to support natural blood return. Keep hydration balanced, not too little, not excessive, so your system can stay steady through the night. And emotionally, I want to leave you with this thought. Many people over 60 believe that discomfort in the legs is simply something they must accept. But I've seen time and time again that the body is far more responsive than we assume. It does not stop adapting. It does not stop improving. It simply needs the right kind of support. Not extreme changes, not fear, just steady care. If you've noticed any of the signs we talked about today, don't ignore them, but also don't panic. Instead, use that awareness as a starting point to make small, supportive adjustments in your daily routine. And if this video helped you understand your body a little better, make sure you stay connected. I'll continue sharing simple, science-based guidance to help you take care of your health in a calm, informed way. Because the goal is not just to live longer, it is to live with comfort, stability, and confidence in your body as you age.